Hi everyone, my name is Carly Abatello, and this video will be covering Chapter 1 titled Why Organizational Behavior Matters from our organization textbook by Neck Houghton and Murray. To get us started, I wanted to reference a quote from the beginning of the chapter. So the quote goes, "The success of your organization doesn't depend on your understanding of economics or organizational development or marketing. It depends quite simply on your understanding of human psychology, how each individual employee connects with your company and how each individual employee connects with your customers." I thought this quote was important because it explains how organizational behavior is the first basis that needs to be established before anything more complex can be established in an organization. It is important to understand how employees interact with the company and how employees interact with each other in order to set larger organizational goals. The textbook defines organizational behavior as a field of study focused on understanding, explaining, and improving attitudes of individuals and groups in organizations. It relies on quality people involved in the organization to help in a competitive market. The purpose of organizational behavior is to explain, predict, and influence behavior. If we are able to explain why somebody acts a certain way, then we can better anticipate and predict how they will act in certain situations, and then we're able to influence their behavior based on the needs of the organization. There are many fields that contribute to the overarching study of organizational behavior. These fields include psychology, sociology, social psychology, political science, and anthropology. Psychology refers to the human mind's effect on behavior, while sociology refers to behavior in groups of a social setting. Social psychology refers to sociological and psychological concepts in a social setting. Political science refers to individual and group behavior in a political environment. And lastly, anthropology refers to individuals and activities in societal, environmental, and cultural influences. Organizational behavior uses the scientific method to gather information for the field. Theory relies on principles to explain behavior, while models take a simplified snapshot of reality to illustrate the reasons why people behave in a certain manner. Correlation attempts to find the links between two different subjects, for instance, job salary and job satisfaction. Contingency thinking is based on the nature of the situation and refutes that a one-size-fits-all approach is necessary in an organization. And evidence-based management aims to use research in order to make the best possible decisions in an organization. The purpose of organizational behavior is to achieve beneficial positioning within an organization. Organizations have two types of resources, tangible and intangible. Tangible resources include things like equipment or property of an organization. Intangible resources include things like customer relations, reputation, and trust between employees and their manager. Beneficial positioning is achieved through human capital. Human capital is defined as the sum of people's skills, knowledge, experience, and other attributes in an organization. The three central components of human capital are value, rareness, and inimitability. Value means that we can achieve competitive advantage. Rareness means that we have skills and talents that are unique to the industry. And inimitability means that other organizations cannot emulate the same things that we can. This results in competitive advantage of the organization by having more profit and retaining more customers. According to organizational behavior, managers are expected to use the critical thinking process in an organization. The first step is to observe. In this step, managers should recognize behavior. The next step is to interpret. This is the step where managers are expected to understand the cause and effect of behavior. The next step is to analyze. This is where managers investigate the cause and effects of behavior. The next step is to evaluate. This is where managers are responsible for assessing consequences of changing behavior. The next step is explain. This is where managers are expected to justify behavior. Then behavior change occurs, and the cycle begins again. A significant theory to organizational behavior is open systems theory. The theory holds that organizations are systems that interact with their environments to obtain resources or inputs and transform them into outputs returned to the environment for consumption. The environment refers to external factors that have the ability to affect a system. Input refers to resources taken from the external environment. Throughput is the process of conversion and transformation of resources in a system. Output refers to the work of a system put back into the environment. And feedback relies on necessary changes for a system to survive and grow. Organizational behavior acknowledges many challenges and opportunities within the field. These include globalization, economic factors, workforce diversity, customer service, people skills, innovation and change, and sustainability. Globalization refers to interconnection of trade, culture, technology, and politics. This means that people have to work well together given the large geographical distances. Economic factors deal with things like recessions, reduced wages and unemployment, labor shortages, things like that. This requires that the organization adapts to these changes that come. Workforce diversity refers to the ever-growing diversity in the workforce, as easy as it sounds. This means that people need to respect one another given the differences in their backgrounds and work together in achieving a common goal. Customer service means being responsive to the customer's needs. This requires that people are creative in their solutions. People skills refers to relating to people around you. The more that people relate to each other, the more cohesive a work environment can be. Innovation and change refer to being better than the competition. This means securing competitive advantage in an organization. This also goes with sustainability. It is important for an organization to be more sustainable and more responsible than their competition. This means considering their effects on the environment, their community, and their organization as a whole. There are three main levels of organizational behavior: individual, group, and organizational. The individual level refers to things like diversity, personality, emotions, attitudes, perception, and motivation on the individual basis. When individuals are interacting with other individuals, we come to the group level. The group level refers to things like teams, making decisions, creativity, conflict, leadership, power and politics, and communication in a group setting. The last level is organizational. This includes things like culture, strategy, change, and structure of the organization as a whole. For an organization to be the most efficient, it is important that all of these are aligned in achieving the various goals of the organization. There are many benefits of positive organizational behavior for organizations. Positive organizational behavior promotes strength, virtues, vitality, and resilience among individuals and organizations as a whole. This can be achieved through high involvement management. This type of management involves empowering employees to make decisions, providing extensive training to employees, giving employees the opportunity to increase their knowledge base, sharing important information with employees, and providing incentive compensation to employees. In a world that is constantly changing, it's more important now than ever to understand our own behaviors as well as the feelings, attitudes, and behaviors of others around us. Organizational behavior can help us to establish cohesive, complex environments that are destined for success. Thank you for watching my video, and I look forward to discussion.